Well, golly gee willikers, it is officially 3 o'clock Eastern Time. My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Bear. Today's date is Sunday, March 6th, 2022. So glad you could join me this week for another edition of the Sunday video update. I'm flying solo this week. Dad and Amy went to Oakley. They went to dinner to honor my late Aunt Joyce, and they might walk in during the video update. They may not. It depends, but I'm here for another week of the Sunday video update. I'm so glad you could join me. A few things to go over this week, and one of those things in particular at the moment, the high gas prices. I don't know if you've experienced any high gas prices, excuse me, in your area, but I know here in Michigan, we've definitely got some high gas prices going on. We have topped the $4 mark. One gas station was $4.25 a gallon. The other was $4.32 a gallon. And the cheapest that I found in Chesaning in my hometown was $4.09 a gallon, but that's on the other end of town. So that means you'd have to drive all the way to the other end of town, unless, of course, the gas prices have spiked since I saw the prices earlier, because I was in Chesaning earlier this afternoon. So that is the big story going on right now with the gas prices and what's going on over in the Ukraine and all that going on. But another big issue today is the wind. We had some very strong gusty winds here in Michigan, and in Saginaw, they picked up a reading of 67 miles an hour. So that is a very strong wind gust that would more than surpass severe thunderstorm criterion. And yeah, no severe weather, but we just had a lot of wind today here in Michigan. It's been a good day so far for me. It's been a good weekend overall. I'm still on Facebook. If you're watching this, you can find me on Facebook. I have a link to my Facebook account and on the front of this YouTube channel. So, but you got to be signed on to Facebook first, and then what you do is you you click the link and it'll take you right to my Facebook. And if you're not blocked, you'll see my Facebook. So there you have it. The chat is also open for subscribers only. So come in, say hi if you're a longtime viewer, or if you're here for the first time, pop into chat, say hello, and we might have a conversation within the next hour. I do apologize. Damn it. Seems like every time I get started on the Sunday video update, I got to clear my throat and cough and do all that stuff. It's rather annoying to say the least. So this past week, there was another death, someone that we knew for many years. Excuse me. Christ on a cracker. His name was Mark Saville. He passed away last week at the age of 56. We've known him for any number of years, and my love and condolences go out to his family during this difficult time. Like I said, he was well known by lots of people. We've known Mark for any number of years. I've known him my entire life. Well, not my entire life, but I've known him all the way up until he passed away. I've known him for that length of time. So yeah, my love and condolences go out to his children and his siblings and his mom, who was a very sweet lady. And so there's that. We also had a couple of noticeable deaths from Hollywood. An actor named Johnny Brown, who played the role of Bookman on the 70s television series Good Times, had passed away. He was 84. And Mitchell Ryan, who was, if you remember the movie Lethal Weapon, he was the general. I think, was it McAllister? I think his name was General McAllister in Lethal Weapon. Mitchell Ryan was 88. He passed away on March 4th. My brother Jay had celebrated his birthday on March 4th. My Uncle Danny's birthday was on March 2nd. And last Sunday was my brother Wayne's birthday. and he was, yeah, he turned 45. So, or was it Monday? Oh, hell. It was last week. That's all I know. So there was a lot of birthdays last week. Oh, guys, I apologize. Oh, this is going to get annoying really fast. Oh, I bumped the desk. Sorry about that. And it was announced that my cousin Kendra is expecting a baby. So, Kendra, congratulations. I hope the pregnancy is a success, and I wish you all the best. So, um, how was the week? Well, let me take a drink of my pop first because I'm getting sick of coughing and doing all that stuff. So just give me a second here. Okay. My week was it was kind of busy. I paid bills last week, of course, and we've been having issues with our propane company. And they made a delivery mistake, and for some reason they think that we have to pay for their mistake, and we've been fighting with them, arguing with them back and forth. We tried to pay what we owed, which was on the 3rd. That's when the bill was due. They wouldn't accept our money, or at least they told us to hold on to it until we get it straightened out. And so we still got the money that we owe, uh, but until such time the bill hasn't been paid, and we're trying to figure out what they plan to do. Um, are they going to acknowledge the mistake and take care of it on their end, or are they going to try to stick us with the mistake that they made? I don't know. Oh my god. Um, so we got that going on, and I've kind of been a little stressed about that, but not too much to the point where I'm having a nervous breakdown or anything like that. None of that going on. Um, and last week, of course, if you saw the video here on my YouTube channel, I celebrated, or should I say, it wasn't even a celebration, it was more of a commemoration of the 33rd anniversary of my diagnosis with Wilms tumor. So I put together a video for that. um, so yeah, there's just been a lot going on, and of course, I've been keeping in contact with friends and family on Facebook Messenger, text message, email. You know, the past week has been absolutely fulfilled with communication with family and friends, loved ones, of course, as always. I've been keeping in contact with my mother, so it's been a fairly good week. Um, there's just been a lot going on, and I think the change of the weather has something to do with this, honestly, because I was just fine until I started going live here on YouTube. But so 33 years, yeah, it's been 33 years since I was diagnosed with Wilms tumor. That was last week, and I did a video on that, and I kind of talked briefly about that. And the response on Facebook hasn't really been. It wasn't great. It wasn't like a lot of people were commenting or anything like that. But I think people read what I had to say. They're reading my words. They're taking in what I'm trying to tell them, which is a good thing. And I made a couple of new friends along the way, and they're getting to know me a little better. I'm getting to know them a little better, and they're really nice people. And we've been keeping in contact through that as well, through Facebook, and we've been talking and getting to know each other and sharing our stories. And I mailed out a couple of letters last week to, let's see, one went to Arizona, one went to Philadelphia, and one went to Michigan, just right here in Michigan. Uh, guys, I do apologize for this. This just came on out of nowhere, and it's really starting to irritate me. Um, so that's something else I did last week. I just been, keeping in contact with friends. I've been talking to a lady friend, and I'm trying to get her to go out with me, but she's like me and she's kind of withholding and she's saying, "Well, I kind of like the single life." And it's like, "Well, we can go out as friends, you know. There's not anything romantic or sexual going on. We can just go out as friends and hang out." And I think I'm starting to maybe, you know, I'm starting to talk her into it a little bit, and we'll see what happens with that. But she hasn't gotten back with me yet on plans. You know, does she want to hang out? Does she want to, find something to do? Um, she hasn't gotten back with me on that yet, but I'm holding out. I'm waiting patiently, and if she comes around to saying, "Yeah, let's hang out," then we'll hang out. Jesus fucking Christ. But if we don't hang out, that's fine. It's not a big deal. We can still, chit chat on Facebook. Oh, I do apologize for this, guys. Let's see how many people's watching this week. Nobody's watching right now, and I've been into the video for the past 11 minutes, so this should be a fairly easy Sunday video update. Damn it. I do apologize again, guys. I'm going to apologize all throughout the video. This is really super annoying. Oh, see, this is why I wish I had a second person on here with me, so that way I could take a break and try to, take care of this problem, so that way I'm not leaving you with dead air. But for those of you who are new to this channel and you may not be aware of the situation, yeah, I've been doing Sunday video updates now for, I'd say, the past 7 years. When I started this channel, I started the channel 7 years ago. I used to give brief video updates, and they haven't been live like they are now. Son of a bitch. They haven't been live like they are now is what I'm trying to say. And but I figured this way would be much better. I can go live and try to speak without sinus drainage interrupting my ability to speak. So yeah, I've been here for about the past 7 years. Not specifically doing Sunday video updates, but wow, you get the idea. Oh, man, this is lousy. I don't have any viewers. And it's hard to see without my glass on. I have no viewers, which is fine. Y'all see this later at another time, and you'll be saying to yourself, "Well, shit, man, this guy's choking. He's coughing. He's got the COVID." No, I don't. I don't have the COVID. It's just sinuses are draining, and they just won't stop draining. So, but yeah, I'm sitting here all by myself. There's really nothing much else to talk about. God damn. There's really nothing much else to talk about. And my allergies just won't stop running. I'll be right back, guys. So there's going to be some dead air for a minute, but I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Had to take care. Hopefully, it solved the problem. At least partially anyway. So yeah, Dad and Amy, they are over in Oakley at Village Hall. They are going to do this dinner in honor of my late Aunt Joyce. And I was going to go, but I probably should have because I'm having trouble speaking with my sinuses draining. But I'm here with my two dogs. I got Scruffy and Barkley with me today. Hey, boys. Oh, my fucking God. Oh. This is annoying. I wasn't expecting this to happen. But yeah. So if you're on my Facebook, as a matter of fact, I could probably put a link to my Facebook page. There we go. I can put a link to my Facebook page in the chat. And it should appear now in your chat. So if you're new to my Facebook, or if you're new to YouTube, rather, and if you would like to join me on Facebook, please do. And I promise not all of my Sunday video updates consist of me coughing or sneezing or, having difficulty speaking as a result of that. But today, I don't know what's going on today. The perfect opportunity to do a Sunday video update and to talk about things without interruptions. And my allergies are interrupting my ability to speak, so I do apologize for that. I'm trying to get it together. But yeah, if you are interested in looking for me on Facebook, the link to my Facebook is in the chat log. Follow that link and come on in. Come on to Facebook. But I would recommend that you message me first so I can, get a feel of who you are, because I'm not going to just add anyone willy-nilly. I am going to have to get to know you first. And I'll find out right away if you're bullshitting or if you're trying to get access to my Facebook so you can continue on with your gobbledygook and nonsense there, because you'll be gone. You'll be gone at the drop of a hat. So we're not going to play that game. But I am a Wilms tumor child, a cancer survivor. Have been for 33 years now. And I have gone over this any number of times about advocacy in the childhood cancer world. I'm not a part of that anymore. I haven't been for, I'd say, about 3 years now. And I'll just say it, I think advocacy has taken a very dark turn, which is why I don't support it. I have nothing to do with any of it anymore. However, if you have questions for me, personal questions, or, if you just have comments that you would like to say, I'd be more than happy to hear those. And of course, you can direct your questions or comments to my messenger, the inbox, and I'd be more than happy to have the conversation with you. But like I said, I'm not an advocate. I haven't considered myself an advocate for about 3 years now. It's been relaxed. It's been tranquil. I still keep in contact with lots of people who I've met through the childhood cancer world, and maybe not as often or not as prolific as I used to, but every so often there's that email here and there or a text message here and there, and we'll keep in touch and get something squared away. Now, upon subscribing to this YouTube channel, if I can talk, upon subscribing to this YouTube channel, you're going to find videos called The Daily Rant, where I talk about certain people, and I call them out on their bullshit, and I dish out a little vitriol. Now, you'll have the evidence of that. And of course, they're already aware I'm already aware that there's people who watch this specifically to go back and tell people or to deliver messages or to think they're gonna, catch me up in something because I guess I'm such a bad guy. Um, fuck me. Um, it's not true. I'm not a bad person, but I'm often portrayed as one because I speak the truth. And I say things that people don't want to hear because it goes against their interests. And the evidence of that is the fact that they foster up lies. So, but I overlook all that. It's taken me a while to get over that, but I've gotten over it. I'm living my life. I focus mainly on the people that I want to talk to. And it's been great. It's been really great. It hasn't been as noisy. I don't have other people sticking their nose in my business and other people interjecting themselves into my life thinking they know more about me and my life than I care to share with anybody. But they like to assume things and they like to say things that aren't true and they tell other people, they warn other people about me. And that's been going on for any number of years. And you would think after all these years, people would just get a life or they would get bored with it. But obviously, they have no life because they wouldn't be doing what they're doing if they actually had a life and they weren't so consistently concerned with what I do, which is nothing harmful. But I do dish the vitriol on occasion, and I dish it to people who deserve it, especially the trolls. So, but it's been quiet. Last week, I had one troll come into the chat. I had disposed of them really fast. But other than that, I mean, I don't have daily run-ins with internet trolls. And then again, I don't really look at the internet every day. I mean, I'll take notice. I'll take notice of my Facebook and you know, I'll respond to my notifications and I'll get that out of the way, get squared away on that, and I'll keep in contact with my friends and family and really close friends. But oh my God, you guys. Oh, I do apologize. Oh. And still, no one's watching, and I've been here for the last 20 minutes or so, hacking my head off. But yeah, I really don't know what else to talk about. I really don't. Oh, this is driving me nuts already. Oh. I'm sorry, guys. I do apologize. I'll apologize all throughout the Sunday video update. Oh, there's one person watching. I've been hacking my head off since I started, so please don't give me too much grief about that. I've been coughing since I started this. It's a sinus drainage, and it's affecting my ability to speak, and I do apologize for that. But other than like the high gas prices that we're experiencing here in Michigan, and maybe perhaps where you live, there was a death of a friend that we've known for any number of years, and um, what else? I mean, there was a lot happening last week. My brothers celebrated birthdays. My uncle Danny turned 65 on March 2nd, and he found out he's going to be a grandfather again, which I'm happy for Uncle Danny. He's got a lot of grandkids now, but he's going to be a grandfather again, and I am very happy for him. And I wish my cousin Kendra all the best, and I hope everything goes as planned. I hope everything turns out well. So, as for me, no kids yet. I'll probably never have kids. Um, oh, Jesus Christ. Um, as I said earlier, as I mentioned earlier, I am talking to a girl, and I'm trying to get her to go out on a date. And she's like me, she prefers the single life. And I don't know, I think she's starting to come around. I think she's starting to come to her senses, and she might consider going out on a date with me. Um, but if she does, cool. If she doesn't, okay, I'm fine with that. I have lots of friends. I have lots of friends, female friends, male friends, you name it. Young and old, I've got friends in low places. I have friends in high places. um, but yeah, so there's really not a whole hell of a lot going on in my life right now. And my dad's not here to interject on a conversation or to talk about something. So I've been ad libbing this for the past 25 minutes, or at least trying to ad lib this, because I keep doing this, coughing and clearing my throat and constantly being interrupted because of sinus drainage. And I might just end the Sunday video update quicker. Um, this has come out of nowhere, and I'm trying to fight through it, and I can't because I keep, God damn it, I keep coughing and clearing my throat, and I've already left the screen once to blow my nose. That didn't help. Um, oh, but anyway, I hope you're all doing well. There's only one person watching right now. Um, the chat is open, but it's only 2 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, you won't be able to comment in the chat. And it's just an easier way of filtering out the trolls versus actual people who come into the chat. And I know who's legit and who's not. And if they're giving any shit, they'll be gone. Oh, now we got 2 people watching. But I figured I would, you know, I would put a link to my Facebook up there if anybody wanted to send me a friend's request. Oh, this is driving me nuts, you guys. I am so sorry about this cough. I am so. Oh, I wasn't expecting it. Oh, so I'm checking my Facebook right now. Okay. Not a whole lot going on Facebook. And I should be talking to you, but I'm having a really hard time talking because of the sinus shit going on, draining in my throat. And it just started to happen before I went live on YouTube. So for that, I do apologize. I might just end it early. Just to get it done. So nobody's commenting in the chat, which is fine. Actually, as a matter of fact, I'm going to check something here real quick. Oh my goodness. Oh. Okay. Okie dokie. It's showing that I am live. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. So, plans for this week, I'm not sure. We do have more snow coming. So I'm not sure what's going to be happening. I might not go anywhere. Well, with the gas prices being as high as they are, I may not be doing much of any traveling anyway, because of the fact that I ain't going to be able to afford it. With gas being $4 and whatever cents a gallon, I know in some states it's over $6 a gallon. So I'm really and truly probably just going to sit home. I'm not going to attempt to go anywhere. And if I'm coming down with some kind of sinus shit now, I'm definitely not going to be going anywhere. I might have to cancel next week's Sunday video update, depending on how I feel. Oh, you guys, I'm so sorry. So I may not do a Sunday video update next week if I'm not feeling well, but we'll just see how it goes. It's a change of the weather too. See, it would help me a lot if Dad and Amy were here, because then they could take over while I go and try to take care of this problem. And I don't have them here. They're at a dinner for my Aunt Joyce, a memorial dinner for my Aunt Joyce over at the Village Hall in Oakley right now. And they're probably, if Amy's watching this, which I don't think she is because she's probably busy visiting with relatives. But I imagine if she is watching, they're probably all watching and listening. Hello over there in Oakley. I'm just sitting here at home by myself. I really don't have much to talk about. I think I pretty much covered everything that happened this past week. My brother Jay, he celebrated his 42nd birthday on March 4th. My brother Wayne turned 45 on the 28th, and my uncle Danny turned 65 on March 2nd. And he found out that he's going to be a grandfather. So I'm happy for Uncle Danny. You know, I'm happy for him, and I hope everything turns out well, and I hope the baby will be happy and healthy. And I have no doubt that my cousin Kendra will do a fine job as a mother, and hopefully, things will go right with that. Not that I had any doubts, of course, but being a first-time parent, there's going to be a lot of things that you may not get right. There's going to be plenty of things that you may not get wrong either. But it's all a learning experience, and it's trial and error. And, of course, I don't have kids, but if I did, Jesus Christ, if I did, it'd probably be the same for me too. Just trial and error, That's all you can do. I mean, there's no such thing as a professional parent. We all do what we can to the best of our ability, and sometimes we got to improvise just to make ends meet. So, I think the one person's just laughing at me coughing and sneezing and hacking, and they're mocking me to the point where I can't see them. I don't care. Mock away, laugh away. I really don't care. I don't know where this just suddenly came on before I decided to go live here on YouTube. I just feel like I've blown an entire Sunday video update because I'm trying to convey a thought, and every time I try, I'm being interrupted with a cough, or I've got to clear my throat, or something to that effect. So I feel like I've just blown an entire Sunday video update because of my inability to speak. Thanks in part to my sinuses draining. But maybe next week if I'm feeling better. Or I could even just record a video and upload it to my channel here. Oh. Oh yeah, it's my seasonal allergies. That's what's going on. Just all of a sudden, just out of the blue, it's like, why now? Why now? Right before I go live on YouTube. Why the fuck now am I dealing with seasonal allergies? It's like they knew. I was like, my seasonal allergies knew, well, we're going to get Jared just before he goes live on YouTube. So we'll interrupt his ability to speak. Yeah. It's a shame. But it's not the end of the world. At least you'll all know that, you know, if I'm not on Facebook much, or if I decide to cancel next week's Sunday video update, then you're going to know why I did, because now you're getting a first-hand account of why. Because if I can't speak, there's no point in having a Sunday video if I can't talk. And I know that's what all of you come here to do. Listen to me chitter chatter about what's been going on in my life. And I'm happy to report that there's really not a whole hell of a lot going on in my life right now. I did go to Flint last week. I was in Flint. I was in Lansing. I decided to go for a little joyride around Lansing. I haven't been to Lansing in a while. And that was on the 1st of the month. That was on the 1st. And I went to Flint with my dad and my brother and his girlfriend's daughter. And so it's been a busy week. Oh, good God. Excuse me. This is really embarrassing. I'm trying to talk and I can't because my sinuses are draining now. Dad and Amy should be home anytime. They left around 2:30. I'll be right back again, guys. I'm gonna go see if I can get some something to blow my nose. I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Oh, had to blow my nose. Now, next Sunday is the 13th. And like I said, if my allergies don't give me shit next week, I'll be back. But if I'm not feeling well, I'm not going to be here. I'm going to cancel next week. And there will be a video letting everybody know that I canceled because of health issues or for whatever reason that I decide to cancel. May not necessarily be health issues. However, if I do, you'll be the first to know. I'll probably even announce it on my Facebook page that I will not be doing a Sunday video update because of sinus issues or whatever the case may be. So, oh, all right. So, to talk about last week one more time to make another attempt. Forget it. Yeah, so 33 years I've been a WOM survivor. I went to the bar on Sunday, or not on Sunday, I'm sorry, on the 2nd. I went to the bar. I had a beer for the survivors and the ones who are fighting currently, battling, and then I had a shot of Fireball for the ones who passed away as a result. So, even the price of liquor went up. I used to get beer for $2.50 a bottle at the Back 40, and now it's only $3. only $3, but still it's a 50-cent hike. And I would have to assume that the shots were probably $4 at one point. Um, but I think different shots have different prices depending on what you're getting. I'm not really sure how that works, but uh, yeah, it was like 4.50 for the shot of Fireball and 3.50 for a beer, or $3 for a beer. It was $3 for a beer. That's what it was. Um, just going to check Facebook one more time because I really and truly have nothing more to talk about. I think I nailed every aspect of this past week. It's been a very busy week. And like I said, with this propane company situation, we need for them to get on the ball and work with us on what we owe to them, because we originally owed $672.13 for 200 gallons of propane. And lo and behold, they filled our tank with 425 gallons, which we did not order. And the bill had come out to $1,200, which we do not have. So yeah, we didn't order the 425 gallons. We only ordered the 200. And we tried to calmly, rationally explain to them that we did not order this. We did not order 425 gallons, and we're not paying you $1,200. And they haven't threatened us with, litigation or sending us to a collection agency or whatever. But I would imagine that that would be the case eventually if we don't pay this bill, if they're not willing to work with us. But if they had any common decency or courtesy, they would actually admit and acknowledge their mistake and say, you know what, we gave you a little too much. We see that now. And we're going to come and get the propane that we weren't supposed to get. Actually, they haven't even been out here, and it's been 2 weeks. They haven't been by to get the propane. And for some reason, they think we're going to pay them $1,200, and it's just not going to happen. And if it does end up in a litigation process, then so be it. We're not paying them what we didn't order. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me, and it shouldn't make sense to anybody. But we're going to get that squared away. They have our number. They have our address, obviously, because they know where to deliver the propane. And we're not going to be paying them the $1,200. It's just not happening. So, but we'll chew that food when we have to chew it. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, as they say. Yeah, this week, I don't know what's happening this week. I know tomorrow we're supposed to get more snow. It was really super windy today, and I was thinking, well, if it's going to be really windy, it might perhaps interrupt the Sunday video if we lose power, but as it turns out, I'm not losing power from the wind. I'm just losing my ability to speak because of my sinuses draining into my windpipe. So it's I can't win. I can't win for losing. But we're almost at the end. We got like another 15 minutes of the show, and I think, well, the two of you who stopped in to listen to me talk about things and to kind of reminisce on the week gone by. It's been a very long week. The past couple of weeks have been rather long. There's just been a lot going on. Yeah, I don't know what this week has in store. Hopefully, this week will bear some fruit with some good news and some positive, uplifting news. And then, if I'm feeling well enough next Wednesday or Sunday to talk about the week in review, I can hopefully fill you in on that and not be constantly interrupted with clearing my throat and coughing and all that stupid stuff. um, excuse me, I keep burping. um, so yeah, we'll see what happens next week. I know this video is a bore fest, and I do apologize. I've been trying to stay on board with the Sunday video update for the past hour, and it's been kind of difficult with the sinuses draining into my throat. Uh, it's really difficult to speak, but I think we're getting there. And I can still hear the wind blowing outside. Um, the winds have died down. In fact, we were under a high wind warning. It was slated to expire at 4 o'clock this afternoon, but they decided to cancel or downgrade to a wind advisory. But most all of the high wind warnings have been canceled. And I think there's only a few counties that remain in the high wind warning. We had sustained winds of nearly 70 miles an hour recorded in Saginaw at MBS International Airport. And I haven't heard any news on power failures as a result of the wind. We didn't have any flickers or anything here. We haven't had any issues with power failures, but some other areas, I would say that maybe that is a possibility. I'll have to keep an eye on the news reports and find out the latest information on that, if there's any power outages or if maybe perhaps the wind may have caused some tree branches to blow down and block traffic, because that does happen quite often when we have windstorms. Um, but I haven't heard anything about power failures. I would have to, like I said, I'll brush up on some resources or brush up on some information from our local television news stations and see what they have to say. um, burped again. Excuse me. Yeah, this week's Sunday video update was kind of a shit show because I can't fucking talk. Obviously, my sinuses decided that, oh, okay, maybe this week we're gonna fuck with Jared and interrupt his ability to speak when he's mid sentence. And yeah, I wasn't planning on this, guys. I do apologize. I got through it as best as I could. Um, and I've been wanting to talk about childhood cancer because I just celebrated the 33rd anniversary of my diagnosis. I don't know why I keep saying celebrated. I commemorated the 33rd anniversary of my diagnosis, and to say that it's been rough, it hasn't been really rough. I mean, it could always be worse. Anything could always be worse, but I made it 33 years after the fact, and I can say that um, I'm lucky to still be here. I'm grateful to still be here. I'm thankful every day. Um, and the people that I've reached out to, the lives I've touched, and the people who know me for me and they don't listen to bullshit. They know that I'm true, I'm legitimate. I have no reason to lie about anything. And hopefully, I've inspired people to think about what it is they believe and why in terms of rumors and gossip. Um, and I have been able to change some minds about what they believe and why. Most people I've tried to explain to them, but they've got it in their minds that whatever anybody else says is true. And there's no reason that they should ever ask me any questions or come to the person who's being gossiped about. We're just going to go by this consensus, this appeal to popularity, where everybody fosters the same alibi, but they have no evidence to support what they're saying. But we're going to believe it anyway, because why would all these people say this? I mean, that has got to be the dumbest reason to believe anything for any reason whatsoever. And that's one of the things that I point out the most, other than the fact that these are oncology parents who, their child's health is dependent on evidence. And I think it's ironic that evidence only applies or it only matters to these people when it pertains to their child's health, but for rumors and everything else, nah, doesn't matter. I like to know where their brain is when they think that evidence is only good for one and not the other. I mean, that's not how reality works. But one day they will discover that they've been believing things for no good reason at all, and they've been listening to gossip and rhetoric and you know stupid shit for any number of years. And I also want to point out that if in fact those people come to their senses and they want to come back and they want to say, Jared, we made a mistake. Can we have a conversation? Can we talk about this? I would be more than willing to have those conversations. Absolutely. I've had numerous conversations with people who thought, well, I was wrong about this. I don't have an ego that prevents me from admitting when I'm wrong. So, you know what, Jared, let's have a conversation. No name calling, no shouting. Let's just have a conversation. And so we have the conversations and I get them to think about things, some of which I've just said here in this live stream. And they think about that. They're like, I didn't think about that before, but now that you mentioned it, it makes sense. And how could I have been so foolish as to believe something without proof, without the evidence to support it? And as I've said about my daily rant recordings, of course, that's undeniable. And people who say, well, see, I told you he said this horrible thing about this person, that person, blah, 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 blah. Yes, I said it, but that's getting back at those people who've wronged me. This isn't me just verbally attacking random people for no specific reason. There's a reason why I give them the vitriol they deserve. And that's because they've given me shit. And for any number of years, I have been quiet. I have been silent. I've been neutral. And I've always told myself, you're the bigger person, just hold your tongue and move on. But enough is enough. And I have cut loose on a lot of people. The records are going to show that I've talked about Tom Mitchell. I've talked about Milk Tyson. I've talked about Ronnie Duvall. I've talked about lots of people who have been frivolous and they have fostered gossip and rumors. They jump on bandwagons because they have this neurotic need to be number one. They have a Christ complex, thinking that they're going to solve everybody's problems. They're going to swoop in and save the day. They got this in their heads. They play down on this. And the reason why they use the word community so much when it comes to childhood cancer is because the word community contains baggage. And that baggage is such that they foster and they reap the benefits of the popularity that comes with being a member of a community such as childhood cancer. We're not a community. I used to be naive at one time and say that we were a community until one day I woke up and I thought, you know what, we are more of a demographic than a community. And this was long before Tom Mitchell started using the word demographic, by the way. Um, I was naive in thinking that this is a community too, but it's not a community. It is a demographic. And I say this because any real community would not pick and choose who they want to represent their community. Um, a community means that you involve everybody. There's global, worldwide inclusion with a community, especially childhood cancer, because childhood cancer affects everyone globally. So when I think of the word community, I'm thinking in terms of global community. You don't get to just pick and choose who you want to be and who you don't want there. So I did away with this idea of community because, irrespective of the fact that I'm not a member of a community, I don't have to be a member of a community because my story and of my survival as a Wilms tumor survivor is independent and stands on its own, separate from what people view as a community. I don't need your fucking community. I don't need it. I'm a survivor through and through. Your community means absolutely zero to me. And it had taken me a while to get to that point where I was being naive and thinking that, hey, I'm a part of something. I'm a part of a community. I don't need your fucking community. I'm doing very well on my own. I'm very outspoken, very eloquent. I can explain myself in ways that other people wouldn't even bother, couldn't even imagine. Um, and I don't need people speaking for me. I don't have a spokesperson. I don't have a PR agent. And you get a lot of these so-called advocates and activists who like to pretend as though they are PR agents and representatives and spokespeople for children fighting cancer. And they are straight up fucking wrong. Now, the parents of these kids on their own, yes, you are your child's best spokesperson. You are your child's best advocate. There's nothing that anyone else could ever do that would ever take the place of what you do as their parent. However, because I'm not an advocate anymore, I would only encourage you to think rationally and try to think logically about what these people are saying about me to you and assess the information that they're giving you and say, you know what? I'm going to need to see some evidence for this. That's all I've been saying for the past, I don't know, 7 years or however long I've been dealing with the same issues over and over again. But it's been rather quiet lately. And I'm actually doing okay. I'm doing all right. I'm keeping in contact with friends. Like I said, I'm keeping in contact with friends and family. Um, and we're making plans to get together and hang out. A lot of them still want me to come and meet. They want me to come to their house so I can meet them, or to meet up somewhere else so we can have a little meet and greet, so they can see who and what I am in person, instead of going by what other people are telling me or telling them about me. Um, and rest assured, there's a lot of people out there who've had the personal experiences of talking directly with me or meeting me and having the conversations. And it's been stellar. And they see me for who and what I am. And this isn't a put on, it's not a show to spite these people who are talking shit. This is really and truly who I am in real life. I'm not trying to foster an image or an impression of myself that would, otherwise deviate from who and what I really am. This is really who and what I am. I have no reason to lie to anybody. And I don't give a fuck about a childhood cancer community. I care about the individuals. I care about the little ones, the individuals and the families, independent of a community. I could give a shit less about a community. It's all, like cult mentality. That's what it's gotten to. And the sooner you break from this community mentality and say, you know what, fuck that, we are not a community, we're a demographic, the sooner you start to see it as a demographic, coming from a survivor, by the way, the better off you're going to be. And the more you're going to question a lot of things, starting with people who want to spread gossip and rumors. And I don't give a fuck what anybody says in the chat. They can say the same thing every single week, and it's not going to matter, because they, despite the fact that they come in here just to get a rise, any claim they make has not met their burden of proof. And because they fail to do that every single time when pressed, they tend to take offense to it because their plan isn't working to destroy or obliterate someone. I mean, it's gotten to the point where we don't like Jared. It's not enough to just not like Jared Fuller. We have to try and destroy his life. We have to come up with rumors and gossip to ruin this person's life because we have no life of our own. And that is really sad. And what else is really sad is the fact that we are at the end of the Sunday video update, and my voice has actually gotten better to where I can actually speak. So I was able to control and contain my coughs and my, clearing my throat and all that. And we're already at the end of the show. I'm wondering if I should go for about another half hour. I might stick around until about 4:30 now that I can speak. I was wondering why the hell I couldn't speak, uh, you know, when I first started. Now my voice has improved. I'm gonna go for the next half hour. I'm gonna stick around until 4:30. So this is gonna be like an encore presentation of the Sunday video update. So if you're just joining me at 4 o'clock, the first hour was rough. I couldn't speak. My sinuses are draining, and it's affecting my ability to speak. I left the camera twice already to go and blow my nose, and because I'm not planning on getting up anytime soon, I just brought the roll of toilet paper in the living room with me, and I'm gonna, you know, use it if need be. So if you're just now joining me at 4 o'clock, welcome. I'm gonna go until 4:30 this week. Dad and Amy might be coming through the door at any time. Um, so now that I can speak, I'm gonna really talk about what happened without having any interruptions from sinus drainage and such. I love you all very much. I hope you had a wonderful week. Last week was busy. Um, I must have said this about 5 times now, or at least made attempts to say this. My uncle Danny turned 65 on March 2nd, and he found out he's going to be a grandfather again. My cousin Kendra is expecting a baby, so congratulations, Uncle Danny, and happy birthday. Um, my brother Jay turned 42 on March 4th. My brother Wayne turned 45 on February 28th. And on March 2nd, I also commemorated the 33rd anniversary of my diagnosis with Wilms tumor. And hey, I got it right. I said commemorated instead of celebrated. So we did have a death. Someone I've known for a good many years. His name was Mark Sobel. He passed away at the age of 56. Um, I don't know if they're planning funeral services. I don't know if he's going to be cremated. I don't have that information readily available. But I know there are some local friends who watch my Sunday video updates, and I try to pass that information along. Dad and Amy, they are not with me this week unless they decide to come through the door at any time. They went to Oakley to Village Hall. They went to a memorial dinner for my Aunt Joyce, who passed away. And so there's been a lot going on. The propane company's giving us a bunch of shit. They're not willing to work with us. We ordered 200 gallons of propane, and they charged us $673, which is what we were going to pay. We have the money to pay it. But then when we got the invoice in the mail, the invoice shows that they gave us 425 gallons, in which case the bill is now over $1,200. And we don't have $1,200, and we're not going to pay for their mistake. So that's the gist of that. We've been waiting for them to call. Of course, today's Sunday, so they're not going to call. No one's in the office. So probably tomorrow or sometime, hopefully this week, someone's going to contact us, and we can get this whole ordeal straightened out, because we are not prepared to pay over $1,000 for propane, especially when we didn't order it, and we're really upset about that. I've kind of been stressed out about it lately, and Dad keeps telling me, just don't fret about it. Don't worry about it. They can't get blood out of a turnip, which is true. Um, but I have a feeling that there's going to be one more angry call, or there's going to be one more negative interaction with this company before we tell them to come and get their fucking tank, because we're not paying them what they want. So, and I'm not going to mention the name of the propane company because it's not relevant. If push comes to shove, I know some people who work in television news media, and they will be exposed. I don't have a problem contacting local television stations to have them do an in-depth investigation on this propane company. Uh, like I said, I'm good friends with some people who are in television news. I'm friends with lots of people. I'm not going to rattle off names, but I'm friends with news reporters. I'm friends with weathermen, meteorologists. Uh, I have connections. I have people that I can call. So if this propane company really wants to get stupid, they're going to find out that we are the last people they're going to fuck with. And, the message will be loud and clear. But hopefully, before it gets to that point, we can negotiate on something and take care of this mistake, because it was actually their mistake. It was the mistake on their end, and they're trying to make us pay for their mistake. And I'm really and truly not interested in paying for their mistake. Um, Now, I can understand if we actually ordered 425 gallons, then yes, we would pay the bill. We would pay what we owe. We only ordered 200 gallons, and it should not come to $1,200. Um, and speaking of fuel, yes, the gas prices are high. I don't know how high they are in your community, but here in Chesaning, they're over 400 or 400. They're over $4 a gallon, because I was just talking about propane. Uh, the gas prices are well over $4 a gallon. 409 at the Marathon on the other end of town, 425 at Admiral, and 432 at BP Express Stop. And those prices are, of course, subject to change. They probably have gone up since we were in town earlier. But the gas prices are really super high. It's because, if I had to guess, it's got to do with what's going on over in the Ukraine. Um, there's a war going on right now between Russia and the Ukraine, and the children are fleeing. The mothers are trying to get their children out of the country because it has turned into a great big fucking mess in the Ukraine right now. My heart goes out to those people who are. I don't know much about what's going on in the Ukraine right now, and I don't really follow the news as often as I should. But to see the children crying as a result of adults who can't peacefully solve problems, the children pay for it, and they are being forced to flee their homeland to avoid being killed or to avoid suppression. And I think it sucks. I think it sucks that we live in that kind of a world. But I do think of the children, and I hope that, sometime soon, that this whole ordeal dies out, and there's some peace. The countries can find peace. Um, but like I said, I don't really know much about what's going on over there in the Ukraine. I don't watch the news as much, but it's really sad. It's a sad situation when you see children crying and they're scared, and they just want to get the hell out as quickly as possible. And not that I can blame them. I wouldn't want to live somewhere where I could potentially be killed over something that the leader of the country did, that they got us into this mess, or because of some stupid shit going on between with the government that leads to that. I wouldn't want to be stuck in that situation either. Uh, and for those of you who are just joining, yeah, I'm going a little over this week because the first hour was just hectic. I was trying to speak, and I couldn't because of my sinus. My allergies are draining. Dealing with seasonal allergies, the change of the weather. It was windy today, very windy, and at first I didn't think I was going to have a Sunday video update because of the wind. I don't know if there's any power outages, but I will be brushing up on that information when I'm done here. And if you're new to my my YouTube, I keep saying Facebook, but if you're new to my YouTube channel, welcome. The link to my Facebook is in the chat. But if you're going to come to my Facebook or even here in chat to cause problems, you will be taken care of. You will be disposed of, and I'll drop you like a fucking hot rock without hesitation. But if you are sincerely interested in what I do, or if you want to become friends, let me know. We can get to know each other a little bit. My email address, which I actually prefer over Facebook, my email address can be found in the About tab section of my YouTube channel. You have to be on a computer in order to uncover that. But if you want to contact me via email, I encourage that. and we can get to know one another. And if I suspect that you're a troll, or if you're going to be stupid and try to give me shit, like I said, you will be gone without hesitation, and I won't waste a single second doing it. But there's a lot of people out there whose children are affected by childhood cancer, and those are the people that I speak to, and those are the people that I can click with, I can connect with, and yeah, you found the channel, because I talk about my main YouTube channel on Facebook, and this is the main YouTube channel where I actually use profane language. Um, so if you don't like the word fuck, then this channel isn't for you. That's why I had to put a disclaimer in the about section of this channel, just to let everybody know ahead of time that this channel contains content with vulgar language. There's vulgarity used. And if it's not something that you want your children to listen to, or if you are just soft on the nuts and you don't like the word fuck, then this channel isn't for you. So, but in any event, this is my main channel, and I'm glad that you had stopped by and indulged me. And yeah, I was probably making some people laugh at the beginning of the Sunday video update with all the coughing and the clearing my throat and trying to speak, and for some reason just couldn't get there. So I decided to give everyone a bonus half hour onto this week's Sunday video update, and to get everyone up to speed on what's going on. Other than the seasonal allergy thing, which just so happened to come on prior to me hitting the record button, everything else is going well. My health is great. I've been doing well, and I haven't had any issues with my health. I feel kind of like a slight depression coming on, but I think that sadness kind of comes and goes in waves. So like today, I'm in a much better mood. I'm not sad or depressed about things. I think about a lot, and it gets me in a bit of a melancholy mood, but not this week, not today. And I hope that this I hope this sets a precedent for the rest of the week, is what I'm trying to say. Um, and it's depression is a very serious thing to deal with. And while I don't want to get into a great big spiel about depression, I just want to say that if you are someone who battles depression, or if you're really sad or angry, about what's going on in the world, or personal issues, or whatever the case may be, if you need somebody to talk to, I mean, you can email me, and I'm more than happy to have that discussion with you. Anything we talk about will remain confidential, and we can have that talk. I'm always willing to open up to people who are fighting depression. It's sad, and I don't like to see people go through that. It's not the best thing in the world to have to deal with. Um, my cousin Samantha was here on my Sunday video update a couple weeks ago, and she was talking about how she would like to start her own YouTube channel, to talk about how she had overcome drug addiction, which she has, and I'm proud of her. She hasn't started a channel yet, not to my knowledge, but if she does decide to start a channel, I will most definitely promote her channel on my channel, and I will get the word out for her. And if you're someone who's also battling drug addiction, I will also refer that channel to you, so you can listen to some of the things that she has to say. And I told her before, and I said it right here on my Sunday video update a couple weeks ago, that I most certainly will help her get her, help get her channel out if that's what she wants. If she wants to reach people who are battling drug addiction, or trying to get over the addiction, absolutely. I think a YouTube channel would be beneficial. It'd be positive for people who are, they feel as though they're stuck and can't get out. I think that would be positive. I think that'd be wonderful, and I will definitely support that. I've even encouraged my brother to start a YouTube channel to talk about his drug addiction that he battled and how he overcame it. And but he hasn't done that either. I think people are just they're not ready to get in front of a camera and speak. Whereas it doesn't bother me. I'm not bothered by that at all. Um, because of, some people are very self-conscious about how they look on a camera or how they sound on a camera. Uh, Me, I don't care. I'll just say what I think, and I'll share my opinions and my thoughts with everybody. They don't have to resonate with everybody, but just know that I'm saying it. And if you really care at all to know what I think and feel, then you might listen, you might take some of that in, and you might consider applying that somewhere else in the world. So, despite what you've heard about me or despite all the negative you see on this channel, I just want to say and I want to point out that I might sound like a prick in my daily rant recordings. I might sound like a prick here in my Sunday video updates, but if you really and truly got to know me as an individual, um, I'm someone who genuinely cares, but I've had a lot of shit thrown at me over the years, so now I'm very defensive, and I've had to set up boundaries because I've learned that people are not always your friend. They're not interested in being your friend. They don't have your best interests at heart. So I've had to set up boundaries. And it's painful to set up boundaries, but it was necessary. And I did what I felt that I had to do. And I discovered too that there's one Facebook page, and I've spoken with the father of this young man who is a cancer warrior. They're from the UK, by the way. And there's a guy on the page who is a registered sex offender in the state of Florida, and I have tried to warn the father of this cancer warrior that this particular individual is a registered sex offender. Instead of acting on it and cutting off communication with this creep, oh, well, there's nothing that they can do, uh, directly to us through social media. And my jaw hit the floor, and I'm thinking, well, this guy was locked up for possession of child pornography. Those were his charges. And he had sexually abused a young child. He was in prison for this. And he's a registered sex offender in the state of Florida. Why would you not act on that? And his response was, well, he's not an immediate threat to my son. And I'm thinking to myself, you have got to be fucking kidding me. But what I actually said was, there's nothing more to talk about then if you're going to allow for a known child molester, a pedophile, someone who has offended, to be on your son's page. There's nothing more to say to you, other than now I question who you are as an individual for allowing such people on your page. Um, and that's just not me saying shit to get back at someone. This guy is a registered sex offender in the state of Florida. He is known. He was in prison for possession of child porn. The charges are right on the website, the Florida Sex Offender Registry. I tried to warn against it, but people don't want to listen. So at this point, there's nothing I can do. I feel bad for the kid who, or I feel bad for the victims, but I also feel bad for this cancer warrior whose dad doesn't see any real harm or threat or danger with this creep being on his son's page. I think it's deplorable. I think it's disgusting. Um, but there's nothing I can say or do about that other than accept it for what it is and just mind my business, just move on. It's like, okay, he's your kid. He's, you got this creep on your page. You don't see anything wrong with it. Okay. That's entirely up to you. It's not my page. It's not my business. But we're going to be here for 10 more minutes, guys. Because it's already 20 after 4. I have been here for well over an hour. I got the house to myself, and now I can actually speak without being interrupted by sinus drainage and such. I actually don't mind doing the Sunday video updates by myself, having the house to myself, although having Dad and Amy here would have been a great help today because I've been struggling to speak as a result of sinus drainage, but that's okay. There's always going to be next week. And next week's live stream will be set up immediately after I get finished with this, which, like I said, we have about 10 more minutes to go. Um, I'm going to check my Facebook here real quick. And I know I should be talking to you guys instead of checking my social media, but um, I'm just going to check it real quick to see what's going on. Let's see. Not a whole lot going on. So, okay, I'm going to sign off. Let's see here. I mean, it really just frustrates me how this guy is allowing. He's friends with a known child molester, and he's just not gonna do anything about it. Because he says, well, he's not an immediate threat to me or my son or my family, which I try to understand his point where he's coming from, because, technically speaking, no, he wouldn't be a threat. He's not talking directly to his son. He's not demanding pictures or anything like that of his son. So in that regard, yes, he wouldn't be a direct threat. But it's just the fact that this guy did it and he was convicted of the crime, and now he's following children on the internet, and it's really creepy. And in that case, the parents would actually have a case to say that this creep is following my child, and I don't want him following my child. And it's really I guess it's all in perspective. It's all on how you see things. But I would suspect that if we're talking about a guy who was imprisoned for possession of child pornography, why would you give this guy access to information about your child? That part I don't understand. And maybe it's not for me to understand. Maybe it's none of my business. But as someone who is concerned, legitimately concerned, I would only suspect that this guy would take it more seriously and not let creeps like this guy who was in prison for possession of child porn to have access to his son. But that's none of my doing. I guess it's not any of my concern. So I haven't brought it up to him since I talked to him. So, but I always do my best to look out for the well-being of other people, especially kids. So yeah, I think I pretty much covered all the bases for this. It's been a very busy week. I hope you've all been doing well. I hope you're staying healthy and you're smiling and spending time with people you love and cherish and people you care about. The world is in shambles right now, as far as I can tell. I like I said, I only occasionally watch the news, but what I can tell by watching the news is that we are amidst a big, crisis. I mean, between the pandemic and now we got this war going on between the Ukraine and Russia, which is affecting our gas prices. Um, there's just a lot going on right now, and I understand that people are very high strung and they're scared and they're fearful. Um, but to a nail, everything is a hammer, and we should learn to be a little more relaxed on you know because what since 9/11, I'm going to say this, since 9/11 we've had this rule called see something, say something, and which that is nice. I mean, generally speaking, yes, if you see something, you should say something if there's immediate threat or danger occurring, or if it's imminent, you should say something. However, not everything is as bad as it seems. Not everything is a hammer, you know. And to a nail, everything does look like a hammer. So we have to remember that while we should, I mean, it's common sense, you should say something if you see something. Like if a child is in imminent danger or someone's a threat to a child, yes, you should say something. But with evidence, of course, you got to have good evidence to go with your claim. However, we should remember who we used to be, where we came from, how far we've come as a nation, as a people. And I see people all the time on Facebook talking about how they miss the old days and how they wish things were this way and how things were that way. We could get back to that point, I'm sure, with a little bit of patience and perseverance, but you got to get everybody geared to think that way. And it hasn't been that way for a long time. Like I said, 9/11 happened and that changed the attitude and the way we view the world. 9/11 was a horrific day, and I'll never forget it as long as I live, but it did change the course of the reality of America. And it's not, everything you see is not all bad. It's not. So while it is common sense that if, you do see something, you should say something, but it's very subjective, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But when it comes to big things like registered sex offenders following kids on the internet, we got to do something about that. We can't let that happen. But anyway, guys, we are coming up to 4:30. And I appreciate all of you watching and sticking around for an hour and a half. I know I went over this week, way over. Usually I do the Sunday video updates for an hour every week, 3 o'clock Eastern time until 4 o'clock. But this week I decided to throw in an extra half hour, not only because I have the house to myself, but because I was struggling to speak at the beginning of the video. And I wanted to make up for the time that I totally fucked it up. So I'm going to overcompensate a little bit and throw in an extra half hour. But I do appreciate you stopping in and indulging me for the past hour and a half. Next week, if I decide to come back on, if I'm feeling well enough, which I think I'll be okay, I'm going to go back to the original hour. So I'll be here from 3 o'clock Eastern until 4 o'clock. That's the normal run time for the Sunday video update. And the chat log will be open again, but only to subscribers. You have to be a subscriber before you can leave a comment in the chat log, because as I pointed out, it helps to filter out the trolls versus the real people. And I have a lot of real friends who would like to actually come on and say hello and interact. And so I want to leave that open I want to leave that chat log open. But there will be people who will be banned if they come in here being dishonest and they want to start trouble. They will be gone. And they're not going to have any more chances unless they continue to create sock accounts. And of course, the link to my Facebook is in the chat log. If you've been a longtime viewer and you would like to contact me via Facebook, you can, or as I would actually prefer, you go to my email address, which can be found in the About tab section of my YouTube channel, along with all the other information. You have to be on a computer in order to uncover the email address, but I would recommend you email me so that way we can have a one-on-one. If you have any questions or comments or concerns about this channel, email me. We can have the conversation. And if I think there's benefit to be had from the conversation, we can carry on the conversation. Or if I think that you're just trying to be spiteful and be a straight up jackass, I'll just block your email address and you'll never contact me again. But for the most part, I think it'll work out fine. So anyway, guys, much love to all of you. I'm not awaiting word from Dad and Amy this week because they're gone this week. But I will be back next week on Sunday, March 13th, 2022. And I apologize also in advance if you have any pixelation issues on your end, because I know that my internet may not be strong enough and there's interruptions in the in the live stream. So it's on my end, it's not your end. It's all on me. It's my internet, which I'm thinking I might have to upgrade to a different service. Maybe we're gonna see how that goes. But my name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jared Bear. I thank you so much for watching this week, and I'll be here next week, possibly be here next week for the Sunday video update. Have a great week and take care. Peace out, guys. See you next week. Maybe.